The Korean War, a conflict etched in history books, often relegated to a footnote. Yet it was a war that shaped the destinies of nations and the lives of countless individuals. A police action, they called it, sandwiched between World War II and Vietnam. It was a conflict that seemed to pale in comparison to the global scale of its predecessors and successors. But for those who fought, who bled, who died on that unforgiving peninsula, it was anything but forgotten. It was a daily struggle for survival, a test of human spirit and resilience. It was a brutal reality, a maelstrom of ideology and bloodshed that shaped a generation. The echoes of artillery fire and the cries of the wounded still linger in the memories of those who were there. We remember Inchon, the daring amphibious landing, a masterstroke of military strategy that turned the tide of the war, showcasing the bravery and ingenuity of the soldiers. We recall the frozen Chosin Reservoir, a testament to human endurance in the face of overwhelming odds. The bitter cold, the relentless enemy, and the sheer will to survive defined this harrowing chapter. We recount the stalemate, the endless negotiations, the uneasy truce that persists to this day. The war may have ended, but the tension and division remain, a constant reminder of the conflict. But what of the stories untold? The personal battles, the moments of quiet heroism, the sacrifices that never made the headlines, the whispers of clandestine operations, of minds locked in psychological warfare. These were the silent battles, fought in the shadows, where the stakes were just as high. What of the battles fought far from the front lines, in the shadows, where victory was measured in whispers and coded messages? The unsung heroes who operated behind enemy lines, gathering intelligence and executing covert missions. This is the unseen history of the Korean War, a history that goes beyond the well-known battles and famous generals, delving into the experiences of the ordinary soldiers and the extraordinary circumstances they faced. A history etched not just in battlefields, but in the hearts and minds of those forever marked by its invisible scars. The Korean War may be a forgotten war to some, but to those who lived through it, it remains an indelible part of their lives, a chapter that continues to resonate through the generations. Behind the curtain of conventional warfare, a different kind of battle raged, a silent, deadly game of espionage where information was currency and betrayal a constant threat. Both sides, locked in a deadly embrace, deployed their unseen warriors. Spies, double agents and covert operatives infiltrated enemy lines, their missions shrouded in secrecy. The CIA, newly formed and eager to prove its worth, played a pivotal role. They trained Korean partisans, launched sabotage missions and gathered intelligence on North Korean troop movements and Chinese intentions. Every whisper, every intercepted message could tip the scales of war. The stakes were incredibly high. Failure meant not only the loss of vital intelligence, but also the potential capture and execution of their agents. Yet these brave men and women operated in the shadows, their sacrifices often unknown, their stories classified, their contributions to the war effort hidden from public view. Wars are fought not just on battlefields, but also in the minds of men. The psychological aspect of warfare is often as crucial as the physical confrontations. It involves strategies designed to influence the thoughts, emotions and behaviors of the enemy, as well as one's own troops and civilians. The Korean War was no exception. This conflict, which raged from 1950 to 1953, saw both sides employing psychological tactics to gain an upper hand. The stakes were high, and the battle for the mind was relentless. Both sides understood the power of propaganda, of shaping perceptions and demoralizing the enemy. Propaganda was used to instill fear, spread misinformation and create a sense of hopelessness among the opposing forces. It was a tool to manipulate the narrative and control the psychological landscape of the war. Loudspeakers blared across the DMZ, spewing a torrent of propaganda, each side vying for the hearts and minds of the Korean people. These loudspeakers broadcast messages designed to weaken the resolve of enemy soldiers and encourage defections. The messages were carefully crafted to exploit the fears and doubts of those who heard them. Leaflets fluttered from the sky, promising food and freedom to those who defected. These leaflets were more than just pieces of paper. They were psychological weapons aimed at undermining the enemy's morale. They offered a glimpse of a better life, a powerful incentive for soldiers weary of the hardships of war. Radio broadcasts filled with tales of enemy atrocities and impending victory sought to erode morale and sow seeds of doubt. These broadcasts were a constant presence, a reminder of the psychological battle being waged alongside the physical one. They aimed to create a sense of inevitability about the enemy's defeat. The airwaves crackled with a different kind of warfare, one where words were weapons and truth a casualty. The manipulation of information was a key strategy, with each side attempting to control the narrative and influence the perceptions of both their own people and the enemy. This psychological struggle was not confined to the battlefield. It extended to the civilian population, who were also targets of propaganda efforts. The goal was to maintain support for the war effort and to demonize the enemy, creating a unified front against a common foe. It extended to the home fronts, where governments on both sides sought to rally public support and demonize the enemy. Propaganda posters adorned city walls, and government rallies were held to bolster morale and reinforce the narrative of righteousness and inevitable victory. The Korean War became a battle for hearts and minds, a testament to the power of persuasion and the enduring influence of propaganda in shaping the narrative of conflict. The psychological tactics used during this war highlight the importance of controlling information and perception in the broader strategy of warfare. The lessons learned from this conflict continue to resonate in modern military and political strategies, underscoring the timeless nature of psychological warfare. Section 4: Unsung Heroes, Battles Fought in Shadows. While history remembers the major offensives, countless smaller engagements, often overlooked, played a crucial role in shaping the Korean War's trajectory. These were battles fought not for territory but for survival, for a few more yards, a few more hours. In the rugged mountains and icy rivers, small units of American, South Korean and UN forces clashed with their North Korean and Chinese counterparts. They fought with tenacity and courage, their stories often lost in the larger narrative of the war. The Battle of Heartbreak Ridge, a brutal month-long struggle for a seemingly insignificant hill, exemplified the ferocity of these lesser-known engagements. Thousands perished in a battle that barely registered in the headlines back home. Yet, for those who fought there, it was a testament to the human cost of war, a stark reminder that every battle, every life lost, mattered. Section 5: Voices from the Rubble. Human stories of resilience. The true face of war is not found in statistics or strategic maps. It is not merely a series of battles won or lost, nor is it just a collection of dates and events. It is etched in the faces of those who lived it, who endured its horrors and emerged, forever changed, from its ashes. These faces tell stories of pain, loss, and an unyielding will to survive. The Korean War left an indelible mark on millions of lives, both Korean and foreign. Soldiers from distant lands and civilians caught in the chaos found their lives intertwined in unexpected ways. Civilians caught in the crossfire faced unimaginable hardships. They ran for their lives, hid in the shadows, and clung to hope in the darkest of times. Homes were destroyed, families torn apart, lives upended. The very fabric of communities was ripped to shreds, leaving behind a trail of sorrow and despair. Yet amidst the devastation, stories of resilience, compassion and courage shone through. Acts of kindness became beacons of hope, guiding people through the turmoil. There was the young Korean girl who risked her life to guide American soldiers to safety, her loyalty to her war-torn nation unwavering. Her bravery was a testament to the strength of the human spirit. There was the American medic who worked tirelessly to save both friend and foe, his humanity transcending the lines drawn in the sand. His dedication to saving lives, regardless of allegiance, was a powerful reminder of our shared humanity. These were the stories rarely told, the human narratives that revealed the true cost of war. They are the voices from the rubble, the echoes of resilience that remind us of the enduring strength of the human spirit. As we remember these stories, we honor the resilience and courage of those who lived through the Korean War. Their experiences teach us about the profound impact of conflict and the enduring power of hope and humanity. Section 6. A Divided Peninsula, Geopolitics of a Frozen Conflict. To understand the Korean War, one must delve into the complex web of geopolitics that set the stage for this forgotten conflict. Korea, once a unified nation, became a pawn in the larger Cold War chess game, a battleground for competing ideologies. After World War II, Korea, freed from Japanese occupation, was divided along the 38th parallel. The Soviet Union backed a communist regime in the north, led by the enigmatic Kim Il-sung. The United States supported a pro-Western government in the south, headed by Syngman Rhee. This artificial division, a microcosm of the global ideological struggle, set the stage for conflict. Both sides harbored ambitions of unifying the peninsula under their respective banners, turning a nation's yearning for unity into a tinderbox primed to ignite.